Hey guys, how you doing? I just recorded a video in order to upload it, and I had everything ready to go. It was about the Emergency Measures Act, and then literally as I was uploading it, oh, they're going to revoke the Emergency Measures Act. They're just going to get rid of it. Like, why did they do this in the first place? Why did they evoke this measure in order to just like flick the switch on and then flick it back off? Right? What did they actually get out of it? What did they actually do with it? What did they actually use it for? Right? Like, the only thing that I can conclude at this point is that they're just terrorizing the public, just to keep us in line, just to let us know, hey, we could do this. We could do this at any time. We could just launch the fascist regime. We could just kick it up, start kicking in doors, start freezing bank accounts, start rounding people up. We could do it at any moment, right? And oh, incidentally, there's enormous support amongst liberals and NDP for it, right? It's very difficult for me to take a look at this situation and feel anything but complete and abject terror towards my society and towards our people. Half of the population was in favor of the usage of the Emergency Measures Act. Half of the population, right? And I consider the evocation of the Emergency Measures Act a direct personal insult to every single Canadian, myself included. I run a YouTube channel where I say, hey, we should go out and protest. We should surround the halls of power. We should shut down critical infrastructure because our government is abandoning us. Poverty is spiking. Homelessness is spiking. Inflation is spiking. Housing prices are spiking. Rent is spiking. What's the government doing about it? Fuck all, nothing. Their solution is literally to sell us back to the capitalist death cult. And so when we take to the streets and protest, now we have a government that is absolutely willing to flick on the most draconian legislation that exists in the society and then just flick it off when they feel like they're done with it. Right? And oh, fun fact, half the populace supports it. Like, this is the society we want to live in. We want to live in a society where citizens are abandoned to the streets, where they are discarded at will, and when they actually stand up and start doing something about it, when they actually say, hey, wait a minute, I don't want to live in a society where I'm abandoned the moment that it's beneficial for a psychopathic billionaire. If we stand up and say we don't want to live in that society, well, we can just have our bank accounts frozen, get rounded up, right, at will. Oh, and also you can't actually take legal recourse against people because the Emergency Measures Act protects actions taken during that period of time. Like, it's trauma upon trauma. It's beating up people as they are desperately reaching for any solution that they can find. It's going to the person who's grabbing on to a floating piece of driftwood as they are struggling and as they are drowning, and just removing it from them and saying, continue drowning. Like, this is the society we want to live in. And the good cop bad cop routine that the conservative liberal alliance is running on us is as pat as it can be. That if you're upset with the liberals over this, well, what are you going to do? You're going to go vote conservative, right? And have them enact a regime of austerity against us, continue propelling the society downward in this enormous downward spiral, right? That's what's happening. Oh, maybe you'll swing over to the NDP, who not only supported the Emergency Measures Act, but also exist to act as controlled dissent. That if the populists swing away from the conservatives and the liberals, what will they end up with? They'll end up with a party that's saying, yeah, let's tax these guys 1%, so that instead of them having $50 billion, they'll have $49 billion and still have control of the means of production, and everything will be completely normal and exactly the same as it is now. Right? When, what should we be doing with many of these people? Oh, we should be arresting them. On the climate change issue alone, we should be arresting some of these people. Right? The disinformation, the lies that they've been spreading into the society. Yeah, that we should be having climate change tribunals and actually incarcerating some of these people. And the NDP exists in order to prevent that from happening, right? So that the population will be placated if they get in power. And, oh, hey, we raised our taxes by 1%. Yeah, we're a serious party that actually cares about the needs of the populace. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm happy that the Emergency Measures Act is being revoked, But boy, howdy, is it not a good situation for Canada. It is not a good look. It is terrifying that any government would think that they have the right to just flick this on and then just turn around and flick it back off. And you watch, we're going to find out pretty quickly that the reason why they revoke it is because they knew they didn't have the authority to enact it. They didn't meet the criteria. It's not going to pass charter measures because these guys don't care about the rule of law. They care about terrorizing the public to extract as much wealth as they possibly can and then abandon us. That's what's going on, which is why we should surround the halls of power, redraw our constitution, shut down critical infrastructure, end this capitalist grift. But saying that might get me rounded up, might get my bank account shut down. So I'll say it for as long as I can. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, this is the end of this video, right? Like, share, subscribe. We have to be supporting leftist voices. If we don't support leftist voices, the only people in the conversation are the fascists, right? Which is exactly what's been happening over the last 20, 30 years. It's gotten dangerous. We can't even voice reasonable solutions to overt and obvious problems. We're not even permitted to have a seat at the table and say extremely obvious things like maybe just give the homeless homes. It's cheaper to do it. No, can't have that. Can't have that. Right? So it's us that's got to support leftist voices. I have a Patreon down below. Please consider donating. Live stream 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on in. Let's cry about it. Let's cry about it. Always remember, guys, you are a quantum being walking around in quantum energy. These guys are spending hundreds of billions of dollars to ensure that you just stay as the good little commodity you are and sell yourself to them. Revolt, rebel, repent. Good luck. We're going to need it.